Hey dreamers, I'm Bryce from Midnight Notion, singer, songwriter, musician, and big fan of Metallica, but I have no idea what my favorite song is. Could it be Hero of the Day? Let's use math to find out. Cue the intro.
So give it to me now!
For the best Metallica song! Hero of the Day, track number 6 from the Load album. I'm excited to get into this one. I've always liked the song. Haven't really heard it in a long while though, so it's always a good time to look back on old favorites and relive them. I'm going to be using my analytical musician ears to pick some things apart. We're going to listen to it. I'm going to blah, blah, blah my way through everything I find interesting about the song, and then I'm going to grade it using the following criteria. We have composition, memorability, emotional response, instrumentation, and lyrics. Each category is a 0 to 4 scale with a grand total possible of 20 points, and we'll see at the end if this song has what it takes to get to the top 20. Got a brand new graphic and I'm really proud of it. Hey, make sure you hit that subscribe button. A bunch of you are watching, but you're not subscribed. If I could get 1,000 subscribers by the end of this project, then I would be a happy person. And I promise I will give you more great content to come even after this is done. If I finish without 1,000, I don't know if I can keep making stuff. So hit that subscribe button. Also, I just wanted to say real quick, thank you to all of you who are here. I've had some really wonderful discussions. I was afraid at first when I did this project that I'd get a lot of hate and angry comments, that the metal community would be mad at me, but there's been a lot of really positive stuff going on. So keep up the positivity, and you know what? Let's have a great time. Let's listen to a great song. I appreciate you. Nice clean opening. It's soft. Ooh, I appreciate that build because it didn't come down there was no crash cymbal. It just went straight to the ride. Again, Lars is showing us that he can pull back. This is new. This is what, album number 6? And it's only now that he's learning how to play softly on the drums. Well done, Lars. You finally figured out how music works. If only he stayed that way. He only gets more aggressive from here. But it's nice to hear him pulling back a little bit. Very cool. I don't know if you can hear, but there's a clean guitar. That main riff is clean guitar, and there is an acoustic guitar doing just that little do at the turnaround there. I'm going to rewind it just a little bit. For me, I believe it's more so in the right speaker, but you can hear the twanginess of an acoustic guitar. There's the paku. There's some really cool stuff going on here in the bass. You can really hear it cut through. He's going really high on the neck and on the higher strings. He's usually going on that one and. You can hear it on the and of the beat. But it's nice here because we have that main riff that do. We're still playing it, but now it's strummed a little bit heavier, right? It's got the distortion of the guitar and it's a little thicker, but it's not the thickest this song can get yet. But again, we're taking a simple formula, we're taking a simple riff and we're expanding on it. We're building it out. So it's same riff, but different play style, different effect. Building. Composition 101. There's the second guitar. That little telephone effect. little splash cymbal there. I just I want you to focus this next verse here on. No, I talked about the guitars building, right? We have just the simple riff, and then we play it out a little bit more, but it might still have one clean guitar. And then you can hear Kirk come in with the more strummy stuff, again, building it even further. We can hear a guitar going do 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 do. You know, it's like climbing up on the neck. It's going higher, doing some harmonies there. But what's also climbing is James's voice. Note how it goes from "Mama, they try and break me," and then "Excuse me while I tend to how," and then by the end of the verse, he's climbing his voice. He's going from super small and quiet to this large, just. It's really cool. There's a lot of build, and then after the second verse, we get a little chorus. I love this. Little southern drawl. Town. A little lead. Lead guitar. This feels full. Go, change up, go to the 2. Now, I can't tell for sure, but it sounds like it could be. I don't know if he's doing double kick or if it's just because it's different. If it might be I'm gonna have to listen closer here. But what I love here is that we've had this steady groove, right? We had the slow groove, and then we have the straight groove, and now we have snares on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But even though the snares are emphasizing each beat of each measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, the guitars are doing a pattern where they're emphasizing the offbeats. They're doing the 1 and 1 and 1 and. They're always on the offbeat. So the snare hits the downbeat, the guitar hits the offbeat, the snare again, guitar again. They're kind of, it's not a full call and response because they're playing together, but it's really making the sound a lot thicker because each instrument has its place. They're not fighting over, there we go. This isn't fighting, this is coming together. They're not fighting over the space. They're sharing it, right? When you have the snare and the cymbal and the guitars and the basses and the vocals all hitting at the same time, you have to mix it a certain way to get them all to fit. But when they're playing just slightly off of one another, then they all kind of find their own sweet spot and the mixing becomes a lot easier. So as you're writing songs, note, give your instruments space to breathe. But this is so heavy because we also got the there's some really thick, you can hear the bass going. I love the round too. Can we talk about the round? Now the screams but now the screams that ever lights is really cool to have that call. There's sort of a, I don't want to call it a call and response, but you know what I'm talking about. Row, row, row your boat, row, row, row your boat, row, row. You know, the round type song. That's what's happening here. But what I love is that the response, the second, the echo doesn't do the full line. So they're cutting it off halfway. Listen. I love that. Build a wall, behind it crawl, and hide until it's light. So build a wall and hide until it's light. It's still grammatically correct. We left out the hide or behind it crawl, but it still makes sense. Build a wall and hide until it's light. Wow. Also, I want to talk about the lyrics here. So, build a wall, behind it crawl. Specifically, that line, behind it crawl. The typical construction of an English sentence requires a subject, a verb, and potentially an object. The subject is you, and we've got that because of the context of the song, so we don't necessarily need the subject in the sentence. The verb is crawl, okay? You crawl, and then the object is wall. You crawl, and then there's a modifier, of course, the preposition behind. You crawl behind the wall. Okay, that's the sentence. All right, that's grammatically correct. But we're actually moving things around, right? We're switching the subject and the verb. So build a wall, behind the wall, crawl. Okay, we're switching the subject and the verb. Behind the wall, crawl. It's Yoda speak. All right, this is Yoda speak. Anytime you hear Yoda speak, he's just switching the subject and the verb. All right, and that's what's happening in the lyrics here. That's what I want to see in a good, well-written song. I don't want it to just be conversational. You could have easily said, so build a wall and go hide behind it until it's light. That's fine. The song would have been fine. But by switching the syntax around, it makes it more interesting. It's more storytelling. It's more prose. It's more poetic. That's what I want to hear in a good song. So this is going to get a lot of points just for that one. What am I doing with my fingers? Just for that one little movement. I got to give it praise. Let's listen to the rest. Yeah. Okay, so I think it is double kick. I think it is all the way through. But then we switch to the snare. And then he goes down the tom drums, right? The tom toms. It's cool to go from that low same pattern, but then that fill brings us right into a straight groove, right? We were going 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're going to kick, snare, coming back a little bit. And this solo is so beautiful. I can't interrupt it. I'm going to let it play out. It's so beautiful. Yeah, I love it so much. I'm having so much. I'm smiling so wide. It's giving me feels. I love this song. So there's so much going on here to talk about. The solo's still kind of going. We come into another verse type section. And oh man, I just love it. I want to point out, I'm going to go back. I got to hear it again because it's so much fun. There's a harmony vocal, James in the background going, slowly burn, someone there is sighing. There's like just a little echo, but slowly burn. He holds it out a little bit longer than the lead line does, so it stands out. A lot of times when you have a harmony in a song, you try to sing it the same exact length as the melody, right? The main line, the lead singer is singing, or the part the lead singer is singing, you want to match it with the harmony, so it feels like a stack, it feels like a chord. Right? In this case, the lead has ended the line, but the harmony is still going. So it's not actually a chord. It sounds like two different people singing. Maybe that's intentional. Maybe they're trying to build an image. But either way, it's a cool, unique, different thing. This doesn't happen very often in their songs. What also is happening throughout the verses, the first two verses, before we had that chorus, and up to this point, the drums were doing this thing where they're hitting the snare on the 1 and 2. 3, 4, 1 and 2. So pa boom ka boom cha ta boom ka boom cha. So the snare is hitting on 1, 2, and 4, right? Cha to ksh. There's an emphasis on the 2, just like he always does. He always emphasizes the 2, but he's always doing like a paku ksh. And in this section, now we're back to the verse again. The solo has ended. We're back to the verse. And now he's turned it into a fill. Hear how different this is. I'm going to rewind just slightly. Here, okay, that one. That's the backing vocal drums. Yeah. Back to the chorus. Two, drum two. Okay, so we're all on the cymbals. We're thick. It's just like it was before, but there's a little bit extra lead in because before when we went to this, if we call this the chorus, the first time we came here, it kind of just happened as the next part. But this one had a beautiful lead in with that guitar. But now we're dreams. And oh man, oh, what a cool transition. But now we've got this. And then instead of ending the chorus like he usually does, he's got now. So can you hear your babies crying now? Before, can't you hear your babies crying now? And it kind of went up because they were on the 2 and they went back to the. Well, I guess that's not the 2 because this song is kind of in an A flat, so that wouldn't be the 2. That'd be like the 6. I was wrong. I kept saying 2 because I'm thinking an E, but they're actually playing an A, but they're down tuned, so it's A flat, so this would be a G. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is when they come back to this part, can't you hear your babies crying now? And he gets that extra grit in his now. This face is for you, Alloy Tuber. Get your phone ready. Here's your face. But you get to say that you get that low, and then we're just gonna hang out here on the 6, and we're gonna steadily climb. Mama, they try and break me, and he's gonna climb his voice, climb. Mama, they try it, and it's so good, so good, so good, so good. Let's finish this strong. There's some sort of a droning sound going on in the background. I don't know what it is though. It's either some interesting effect. They've been using a lot of weird pedals on this album, so it could be some sort of droning effect, or it could be some sort of keyboard. I know sometimes producers have a tendency to layer some keys or pads underneath to kind of thicken the sound. So it could be a produced like keyboard. It feels like it could be like a sitar or some sort of Middle Eastern instrument because it's got that sort of drone. It's got it's a high pitch, but a thick sound. But it's like maybe rounded off. I don't know what that is, but you'll have to figure that out and tell me in the comments below because that's cool. And the little slide. There's a lot going on in the end of that song, but holy moly. For a song that, I don't know when the last time I heard this was, but that just made me really, really freaking happy. Let's give this sucker some points. Whoosh. Composition. How did they do? Well, already off the bat, we have verse, verse, chorus, solo, verse, chorus. And I guess outro, but it's kind of an extension of the chorus. Already, this is one of the most unique song structures because almost all of their other songs follow the verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus. And so by breaking that form, already I'm happy. Are there time signature changes? No. Are there tempo changes? No. There's nothing really, they don't change the key either. But I do appreciate that they're going from the tonic, the one of the chord, that A flat, down to that F sharp, or I guess it wouldn't be an F sharp, it would be a F, and that would be the 6, I believe, of the chord. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but they change it up a little bit for that chorus, gives it another feel. But I love how much they got out of that one simple riff. We have the clean version, we have an acoustic guitar that builds on it, the bass is building on it, and then we have a full strummed version with and then we have little solos and licks behind it. We have even the composition of the vocals. We don't talk about that very often, but that's an instrument as well. And the way that it climbs from Mama they try all the way Mama they try. It's so cool. This is such an adventure. This is a ballad that just has an epicness to it. Slow to big and meaty and chunky, and the way that ends is just so wow. Just wow. Puts a big smile on my face. I have no complaints. Compositionally, it's a 4. Memorability. How memorable is this song? I guess they maybe don't have the best hook in the song, but I don't know. I have to argue. Mama They Try and Break Me, it happens throughout the song, before each verse, and then at the end of the chorus, Mama They Try, really hammers that point home. I think that riff, because it's short, it's succinct, but we use it over and over throughout the song. I think it's catchy as hell. I think this song stands out. I think also just the fact that it's a new structure, or new-ish structure. It's different from the rest of their catalog. We've got a clean section and a distorted section, but it all kind of feels like one piece. I love it. I think it's super memorable. It's stuck in my head. I hope it never goes away. This one, Memorability, I'm giving it a 4. Emotional response. How do I feel? I feel really happy, man. I knew I liked this song, but it's been a long time since I've heard it, and I am really in love with it. Like, I am really in love. I can't stress this enough. I really love what I just heard. Listening to it now, after having years and years of recording my own music, of writing my own music, I've had this song like kind of in me the whole time, but I never really gave it a true good hard listen from a production standpoint. And they did everything I'm looking for in a song. I really love this song. I'm really happy. I wish they would play it at every single show. They haven't played it in 4 years. Please play it again. I love this song. I need it. This one, Emotional response, it's a 4. Instrumentation. Again, they are all playing together. I love the build. I love that riff continues to build, not on just one instrument, but on all the instruments. James gets to build up to a little harmony part. Kirk gets to build, and he plays just this melodic solo. It's not like a riffy, show-offy sort of solo. It's just a nice singing solo. There's so much to love about it. It just sings from the heart. This is so good. Even the drums, pa-ku-ka, turning into pa-da-da-da-da-ka. They're all just playing so nicely together. And the bass too. Can we talk about the bass? I don't even know the bass part, but I know that I can hear it in the mix, and I love it. I love when the bass stands out, when it's playing something so different from the rest of the guitars that it has its own little place, but it fits. They're all playing together. I love it. I'm happy. Instrumentation, it's a 4. Lyrics. This is the last category now, and I have to talk about the song a little bit because when I read the lyrics, I don't really know what's going on in the song. It doesn't really make clear what's happening. Now, I believe that James has said that this song is supposed to be about children who are looking for heroes, looking for idols outside, when the idol should be here at home. And I think that's a problem that many kids face, too many kids face. They have maybe parents that are fighting all the time, or maybe parents that had kids out of obligation, like they felt like they needed to have kids because that's what society says you're supposed to do, and then are kind of raising them begrudgingly. We know that James has had some problems with his own parents, with his father leaving, with his mother dying of cancer, with the God that failed and all of the religious aspects that come into play. We know that he's suffered from severe their addiction problems. And this record is really covering a lot of those addiction problems. Maybe this is him covering himself, being at home, wishing that his parents were the heroes and knowing that they kind of aren't and wishing that they were. Can you hear your babies crying now? I feel like that line is directed toward the parent. While you're out there, you're the keeper of the flame, right? You light the fire, you keep the house warm, but you're just kind of out there like doing that and not really paying attention that your kids need you, right? The window burns. I'm imagining this being some sort of thing like the light is still on, like the kid is maybe looking outside the window, either wishing for mom and dad to come home, or mom and mom, or dad and dad, or whatever your parental situation is. Maybe they're looking out the window, wishing for their parental figure to come home. Or they're, staying up all night, wondering if they'll ever get a different hero that isn't their parents. Whatever the case is, there's a lot of subtext going on here. It's not super clear, so I have to knock it a little bit for, I don't know, I kind of want to know what the song's about, but at the same time, I like a little bit of mystery. It's not so mysterious that it's nonsense, right? It's not just like a list of items. It's not like chop suey levels of ridiculous for the System of a Down fans out there. I know that song has layers of depth to it as well, but on first listen, it sounds like some weird grocery list or something. This one doesn't feel like a grocery list. It feels like it has meaning, but it's not super clear what that meaning is. But on further research, it kind of is, but it's still kind of in that, I don't know. So there's some really clever writing, but because I'm not really sure what it is, I'm going to knock it 1 point. Lyrically, this one is going to be a 3. And so, Hero of the Day gets a grand total of 19 points. You know it's on the board. Let's check that top 20. It is number 2. Hero has surpassed the Unforgiven to usurped the throne, if you will. Not really the throne, but the second to the throne. 19 points, second place. And the only reason it's slightly higher is because of the emotional response category. Had we gotten all the way to lyrics, the lyrics for Unforgiven, as you can see, were better, but unfortunately, I rate emotional response a little bit higher. So that's why that gets a firm 2. We still only have 2 ties in this entire journey so far. Puppets and Wolf at 4th place, and King Nothing and Through the Never at 12th place. So only 2 ties, but man, I love this new graphic too. What do you think? Is this new graphic cool? It took me a while to put it together yesterday, so I hope you like it. So anyway, that's that. Now it's your turn. Using the point system that I'm using, tell me in the comments below what score you would give this song. Make sure you check out Midnight Notion. That's me. Any music you hear by Midnight Notion, I did all of it myself. Maybe you should grade my songs and tell me what you think of them. And of course, hit that subscribe button so you can be here tomorrow as we discuss Bleeding Me, which also is kind of one of those favorites. It's up there for me. So we'll see how it does with the math. We'll see what the math saith tomorrow. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching.